The Calvary Episcopal is far from the only Memphis landmark with ties to Black history. 58 years ago, the deaths of 2 sanitation workers brought a wave of change to the city. Dr. Joseph Kiles is the president of the Memphis chapter of the Rainbow Push Coalition. Dr. Kiles, welcome back to 3 at 3. Glad you were able to make it in all this weather we've been dealing with.
Well, Mr. Coleman, you all have done a magnificent job. I must say the community says that information is power, and we're thankful to have WRAG making sure that those in this community know what's going on. We have incidents of domestic violence that rise when you're locked in the home for long periods of time. We have children who are on free and reduced lunch who don't get meals adequately. So your coverage and your team coverage is so greatly respected.
We appreciate those words. We really do. As we look back on 58 years ago, what took place in this city involving 2 sanitation workers and how that sparked change, why is it so important for us to reflect back on that day?
Think about Mr. Cole, 36 years old, Mr. Walker, 30, denied the ability to seek shelter from the storm, found their way into the back of a garbage truck. Allegedly, that garbage truck crushed them to death. What a terrible way to lose your life. But a few days later, exactly 11 days, 1,300 men decided to stand up and fight for their dignity based off of, you and I use salutations like Mr. and Doctor and things of that nature out of respect. These men who were doing a very essential service were called boy on a daily basis. And that's just the bottom of the barrel in terms of what they did for this city. And so hence the I Am a Man movement started, which is a global now signal across the world, which presents Memphis in a beautiful light. Their families should be honored and respected all throughout the year.
We also mentioned just a couple of seconds ago the remembrance that could be coming to downtown Memphis involving Calvary Episcopal Church. As we look at situations like that, a lot of people may say that's the past, but we say this is a conversation that still needs to take place today.
Well, we often tell people you have to get counseling to heal from whatever anguish or anxiety that you may be that you have prevalent in your life. And this period, as Gardner C. Taylor would often call a peculiar situation in terms of a human condition, the slavery issue, the systems that were developed around it. Most people don't know American Express and other credit agencies and financial agencies were around during that time. We have to investigate it, not to point fingers, but to see how we can heal from that divide.
You have also written something, an op-ed recently, dealing with the issue of poverty, something that also a lot of people will say holds people back today here in the 21st century. How should poverty be viewed today?
I'm thankful that the Commercial Appeal allows me to, from time to time, submit my humble observations. Right now in the United States, we have a GNP of $30 trillion. We have 43 million Americans that are living at or below the poverty level. Right here in Memphis, we have a situation of basically 4 individuals in the house that live off of $29,000 a year.
At least 4?
4,
wow.
And sometimes 7 or 8. And so that is extreme poverty. How do we create a system that will attack that through workforce development, through training, through skills, so that we can get individuals operated and back into the mainstream economy? The first way we do it is a collaboration between dominant companies and locally owned companies so that they can train and educate and bring people and lift them out of poverty.
As a lot of people listen to you here, though, Dr. Kiles, they'll want to know is what's taking place in Memphis. Is it isolated, or is this almost universal these days?
It is. It's not isolated. It is universal. There is a pocket of poverty in every municipality, but right now we're seeing rural Americans, their hospitals are closing down. They don't have health care. There are 3 things that we see, the prongs of evil as we see it right now. A lack of medical care, housing, affordable housing, and not having an opportunity to make a decent wage.
National solutions, local solutions, are there any?
I often talk to Robert Lipscomb, who is brilliant when it comes to housing. We need some local solutions here that would create an opportunity where we can do tax credits. We would have opportunities to do some mixed use. We need to spread that out over the community so that we can see affordable housing for seniors and middle income people.
Are you confident we are slowly but surely maybe heading in that direction?
We're making some progress, and I'm glad to see that the city and the county are looking for ways, but really this is federal dollars that should be working their way down to the system. And I think if they put the right people to steer the bus, we'll be okay.
Dr. Kyles, let's keep talking about it
Could I say one thing in closing?
very quickly.
Coach Stan Collins. Happy birthday to him. He is a living legend. He's my football coach, but he was an administrator to thousands of young people, students and athletes alike. He is the reason why crime is not as high as it is in this town.
Happy birthday, Coach. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Doctor.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you.